Before I start saying what happened after my last post, I just want to say thank you to everyone who commented and/or upvoted. It really means a lot if I can maybe help someone else in my situation, even if I don't make it out. Okay, now to what happened last night. After I went to sleep, I woke up to something standing over me. I wish I could say I jumped back and tried to run, but I just laid there and let it just stare at me. I woke up in front of the door. I thought maybe I dreamt the thing that was watching me. I went to take out my phone and to update you guys, and then started cursing at myself because I didn't find a charging source. But to my surprise, my phone was fully charged, and still showing the charging symbol as if it was plugged in. I was really confused, so I kind of threw my phone out of the door. Yes, I threw my only line of salvation into the wormhole, just to show you my IQ level. Anyway, after I did that, I waited to see if it would come back or fall into the chair in the middle of the room. Oddly, I heard nothing falling or the clanking of the metal chair, so still kind of drained from the endless looping door thing. I just laid back down and put my hands over my face, not feeling like running to see if the phone was there or not. About 5 minutes later, something very hard hits me in my lower back, and I scream bloody murder at the top of my lungs. I turn around like I'm gonna shoot whatever hit me. And then I see a familiar picture staring back at me. It was definitely the picture I took of me and my parents in my phone case. I picked up my phone and saw it was in perfect condition. I was having a mixed feeling of anxiety and relief that my phone wasn't broken or left to float through space. I saw that my phone was still saying the charging symbol. So then I wanted to test something. I took my phone and walked away from the door to the blinding darkness. As I had suspected, the charging symbol went away. Whatever kind of thing this doorway was, it gave off enough energy to charge my phone without contact. After a bit of trying to convince my body, I started my way back to the chair. I swear I thought I saw a figure move out of the corner of my eye, but I can't exactly be sure. I started running now back to the chair as if the chair would protect me from whatever it was in this room. Once I got back to the chair, I noticed something that wasn't there before. Right under the chair was a tiny piece of paper. Like so small, I may need glasses to actually read it. I picked it up and couldn't quite make anything out of the words on the page. Everything was so small, and I tried to see if I could find something to use a magnifying glass or something. At that moment, I thought of the smartest thing I think I have ever thought of. I grabbed my phone and opened up the camera from the home screen and took a very close picture of the small writing. I opened the picture and zoomed into the writing, and I can make out what it said. Dear whoever is reading this, I was here just like you, and I'm still trying to make it out. If you can somehow figure out how to get out of here with the tips I will give you, please make this known. I have figured out how to make it to the second room, and I do not completely know how to explain it yet, but flip the chair over and there will be my list of what you need to do. I hope I make it out. Signed, the First. I didn't understand. I wasn't the first person. This thought brings me fear and happiness. And what is this talk about multiple rooms? I can't even make it out of the first one. Then again, what if this is all a joke from whoever or whatever brought me here? I was so confused. I finally decided to turn over the chair and see what was awaiting me. When I flipped it over, whoop-de-doo, it was another tiny paper. This one was a tad bigger, though. Regardless of the size, I still couldn't read it, so I repeated the camera trick, as I did with the last note. Once again, the trick worked flawlessly, and I could read the whole thing. This time, it wasn't a letter. It was more like a set of tasks, or even rules. This is what it said. Rules, tips on getting out and surviving room 1 by the first. Rule 1. When the man in the black cloak visits you in your sleep, quickly steal the rubber tube out of his pocket. He cannot notice you doing this. Also, this doesn't help you escape, but it helps you survive. I do not know what happens if you do not. Rule 2. More than likely, the door is presenting somewhere you find comforting or familiar. No matter what you do, if you see anyone that you think you recognize outside the door, do not even attempt to get their attention. Just stay quiet. Okay. Rule 3. As you have also noticed, the outside changes very slightly every time you go through it. If you notice nothing changes when you go through it, then you may need to sit on your chair for maybe 1 or 2 hours and do not move off of the chair. Rule 4. The creatures in this room will not mess with you as long as you make sure the walls are always at least 10 feet away from you. Rule 5. The only way of getting out. The only way to get out is to have its rubber tube when the thing in the black cloak comes to see you at night, and wake up once he drops you to figure out where the tube is. Once he does that, you need to make 100% sure he's turned around, then follow him. It will look like he disappears in midair, but he only crosses the barrier if you stay close enough behind him, and then you will find the next room. Once you get there, you must sit in the chair to your right. Any other chair will result in you back in this room, and once that happens, I don't know how you will be able to get out. Helpful tip. The black-cloaked man can hear breathing, so when you follow him, you cannot breathe until you are in the second chair. I would suggest practicing holding your breath for long periods of time. I was lost for words. This has to be a joke. This can't be happening. Creatures? Rooms? I don't know if I can do this. I mean, I really don't have a choice. If I don't get out, I'll probably die in here. That's when I realized something else. I wasn't getting hungry. I haven't eaten anything since the day I got here. I shrugged that fact off after the information I just received. Okay. I think my first move will be for the tube, because I don't know when that thing will figure out what my plan is. And that's when I heard the sound that made my blood run cold as ice. There was a figure and a pounding coming from the other side of the doorway.